Everyone says the US dollar is falling, but here's the reality. No currency has been able to replace it, and there's a reason why. Not the euro, not China's yuan, not even gold or crypto. Because the dollar isn't just money. It's a system. It's backed by the world's largest economy, the deepest financial markets, and a global network built over decades from oil trade to international debt. So, even if countries want to move away from it, they can't just switch overnight. But here's the twist. That doesn't mean the dollar is untouchable. What it really means is this. If the dollar ever loses its dominance, it won't be replaced by one currency, but by an entirely new system. So why is the dollar still king? What's stopping other currencies from taking over? And what would it actually take to dethrone it? To answer that, we have to go back to a time when the dollar wasn't dominant at all, when another currency ruled the world and seemed just as permanent. Before the dollar, global finance revolved around empire. The British pound sat at the center of international trade, backed by the power and reach of the British Empire. Trade routes, colonial networks, and naval dominance created trust. London became the beating heart of global finance. But dominance built on power can fade. The early 20th century brought shocks that changed everything. World War I forced governments to spend beyond their limits. Gold standards were strained. Debt piled up. Then came the Great Depression, a collapse so severe it shattered confidence in financial systems worldwide. Trust disappeared almost overnight. By the end of the Second World War, Europe was economically drained. Cities were damaged, industries disrupted, and governments burdened with debt. The pound could no longer carry the weight of global finance. At the same time, the United States emerged in a completely different position. Its economy had expanded during the war. Its infrastructure remained intact. Its gold reserves were massive. Stability, at that moment, was its greatest advantage. And that made it the natural center of a new system. In 1944, leaders from around the world gathered to design a financial order that could prevent another collapse. The system they created placed the US dollar at its core. Currencies were pegged to the dollar. The dollar itself was tied to gold. And institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank were created to support stability. For a time, the system worked. Trade expanded. Economies recovered. Confidence slowly returned. But beneath that success was a growing contradiction. The global economy needed more dollars to grow, but the dollar's credibility depended on being backed by gold. Over time, there were simply too many dollars compared to the gold available. By the late 1960s, doubts began to spread. Countries started questioning whether the United States could maintain the system. Some began exchanging dollars for gold. Pressure built quietly, then rapidly. In 1971, the turning point arrived. The United States ended the dollar's link to gold. It was a dramatic shift. Money was no longer tied to a physical resource. It was now based entirely on trust. Many expected instability, even collapse. But something unexpected happened. Instead of weakening, the dollar became more deeply embedded in the global system. By that point, it wasn't just a currency, it was infrastructure. Oil was priced in dollars. International trade relied on it. Loans, reserves, and financial markets were built around it. Replacing the dollar would mean rebuilding the entire system. And that's where the real barrier appears. The more a system is used, the more valuable it becomes, and the harder it is to replace. Economists call this a network effect. Think of it like a global language. If everyone uses it, switching to another language would require massive coordination. Every contract, every transaction, every agreement would need to change. That's exactly what replacing the dollar would involve. And that's why alternatives struggle. The euro, for example, once looked like a serious challenger. It represented a large economic region with advanced markets and strong institutions. For a moment, it seemed capable of sharing global dominance. But the system had internal differences. Countries within the Eurozone had different debt levels, economic strengths, and fiscal policies. When crisis hit, those differences became visible. The sovereign debt crisis exposed weaknesses that shook confidence. Without unified trust, the euro couldn't fully replace the dollar. Then there's China's yuan. China's economy has grown rapidly, becoming one of the largest in the world. It has pushed to expand the use of its currency in global trade. But control remains a key issue. China restricts capital flows and maintains significant influence over its financial system. For global investors, that creates uncertainty. A reserve currency requires openness and predictability qualities that take time to build. Size alone isn't enough. More recently, digital currencies have entered the conversation. Cryptocurrencies promise decentralization. Central bank digital currencies promise efficiency. Both introduce new possibilities. But neither has replaced the dollar's role. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, making them difficult for stable global trade. Digital currencies issued by governments remain tied to national systems. They may change how money moves, but not what anchors global trust. And trust is everything. This becomes most visible during crises. When uncertainty rises, money doesn't leave the dollar, it moves toward it. Investors buy U.S. Treasury bonds. Central banks increase their dollar reserves. Demand rises. Not because the system is perfect, but because it is familiar and widely accepted. In moments of fear, people rely on what they believe will hold value, and for decades, the dollar has filled that role. But that doesn't mean the system is without pressure. The United States carries significant debt. Political divisions create uncertainty. The use of financial sanctions has made some countries cautious about relying too heavily on the dollar. In response, changes are beginning. Some countries are settling trade in their own currencies. Others are building alternative payment systems. Gold reserves are increasing in certain regions. These shifts are gradual but meaningful. They reflect a desire to reduce dependence on a single system. And yet, the paradox remains. Even as countries try to move away from the dollar, they often strengthen its role. Because a fragmented system increases uncertainty. And in uncertain environments, a widely trusted currency becomes even more valuable. For now, the dollar still holds that position. But this isn't just a story about global finance. It's a story about everyday life. In many countries, essential goods are tied to the dollar: fuel, food imports, electronics. When the dollar strengthens, those goods become more expensive. Inflation rises. Wages often struggle to keep up. Families feel the impact directly. Rent increases. Savings lose value. Financial stability becomes harder to maintain. In some economies, trust in local currency weakens so much that people turn to the dollar instead. They save in it, trade in it, and measure value in it. That shift changes how people think about money and about the future. Because once trust is broken, rebuilding it takes time. There were moments in history when things could have unfolded differently. If the post-war system had evolved more smoothly, if the Eurozone had deeper unity from the beginning, if China had opened its financial system earlier, each of these paths might have created a stronger alternative. But history is shaped by decisions made under pressure, by leaders protecting national interests, by markets reacting to risk, and by institutions adapting slowly. The result is a system that continues to function not because it's perfect, but because it works well enough. Looking ahead, the future may not belong to a single dominant currency. It could become more multipolar, with different regions relying on different systems. Trade could be conducted in multiple currencies. Financial networks could become more complex, or something entirely new could emerge. But if that happens, it won't be sudden. It will be gradual, uneven, and shaped by countless decisions along the way, just like the rise of the dollar itself. So when people say the dollar is falling, they're not entirely wrong. Pressures are real. Changes are happening. But replacing a global currency isn't just about building something better. It's about convincing the entire world to move together, to rewrite agreements, rebuild systems, and trust something new. And that's incredibly difficult. The real question isn't whether the dollar will one day lose its dominance. It's whether the world will ever agree on what comes next, or whether we'll continue relying on a system that persists simply because it already exists. And if that system begins to shift, will we notice? Or will the change happen quietly, one step at a time, until the global economy looks completely different? If you found this perspective valuable, consider subscribing for more deep, cinematic explorations into the forces shaping our world and the systems influencing your everyday life.